everybody. Welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Densia Kudrin.
Densia Kudrin is back.
Hello.
And we are on location again.
Yes, we are.
There's something very cool, but before we talk about it, I want to introduce our guest, Mr. Jerry Kage.
Hello.
Jerry, I'm excited for Jerry because when he got here, I said, you got your 3 stories? And he's like, kind of, which isn't great to hear, But then you start talking about statute of limitations, and that you were telling us why you couldn't tell a story just now.
Right. So I don't even know if I should
say it.
So in high school we.
No, don't tell the story if you don't. I don't want you.
Right.
I don't.
But something happened, and we had to make statements, and so we don't know the statute of limitations.
To the police, or just to other people?
No, to the police.
Well, that's good.
We don't want to talk about it because I don't want to have to turn this over to the police. Okay?
Right.
These cameras aren't the nicest
They're like
cameras.
taking the fingerprints off my glass. Glass.
These aren't the nicest cameras are set up, but I still don't want to replace them.
Right.
What a way to go down.
I know.
But we so what we do is we go on location to location. Last week we were at the Club Tap Room. Next week we'll be back at the Club Tap Room. But this is actually a very, very cool one. This is something I didn't see coming. Jerry, you actually hooked this up.
Yes.
We're actually in something very unique for Morgan County. Very unique. I think the only one. So, Densia, please.
So Jerry made the arrangements. Thank you for that, because I'm excited about it. And we are at Country Road Vines and Wines.
As you can see by the wine and the charcuterie
Cheers,
board,
everybody.
we're going to...
There we go. And my biggest dream is that we get a drink and podcast.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's delicious. Remind me the name, Jerry.
It's the...
Pioneer. So it's a mix of
pineapple and...
Pear?
Pear and...
And you have...
Pineapple, yeah.
What was yours?
I have the Summer Rose.
Okay.
So
all their wines are brewed right here on location in Morgan County. And so I got a little bit of the lowdown from Sharon Kaufman, one of the co-owners.
and it's Country Road Vines and...
Country Road Vines and Wines.
Okay.
Was I saying it right?
I can't remember if you said it at all. That's why I asked.
Oh.
She did.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. And so what she was telling me is that they started in 2019. And as we all know, what happened after 2019? A thing we call 2020. Yeah, remember that? Oh, drink to that. And so they closed down for a little bit. And so July of 2021, July 4th, was their kind of opening weekend. And they have been super busy. I have heard all over town, everybody's coming out here, everybody's having a great time and enjoying everything that they have to offer. So they are open Fridays 4 to 8, Saturday 1 to 8, and Sunday 1 to 5. And they usually have anywhere from 10 to 12 wines that you can choose from. And again, they make them all, which I think is amazing.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
I think it's a cool hobby. And they offer these cool charcuterie boards.
I found out what that is. I know what that is.
Everybody, tell the people what charcuterie means.
Thank
Larry.
you, Paula, for letting me know that it's an adult Lunchable.
Is it not? Look at it.
You know why she told me that? Because it was the most simple way to explain to my simple ass.
Yeah.
That's why she's like, it's like an adult, it's like a big boy Lunchable, Larry.
Oh, Larry, me understand Lunchable.
Move along, Kudrin.
We like Lunchable. Okay, so anyways, and they love to partner with people. They love to partner with the community. They do all sorts of things in the community. She was telling me that. So tomorrow night, but we'll do this later.
This won't be for a couple of weeks, yeah.
Right, but they offer a lot of trivia nights, and they have music out here. They are having a big thing on July 3rd. They're going to have an event where they have music and just offer all sorts of fun things.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt
You're
you.
good.
July 3rd, they have live music outside and a lot. You know what's also cool? It's in the location here. It's off Road 21.
Oh.
You have a direct site to the fireworks and brush.
Will they go
their
July
porch.
3rd, though?
I think they do. Oh, no, July 4th. My bad. You know what? Just keep drinking until July 4th. Just stay out here and keep winding it up.
Let's just stay. Try all the wine.
You can, because they have the RV thing.
You're right, Jerry. You are exactly. That was a good lead-in. Way to go, buddy. So they are she was telling me they are a Harvest Host partner. And if you don't know what that means, because I didn't know what that means, it's like an Airbnb for RV parks. And that you can come out here, that she only said like maybe 3 or 4, and people can park their RVs and just learn about everything that they have to offer out here. So
And this is just super cool. It really is. I'm pretty impressed by it. And this is one of those things in Morgan County that you've heard so much about. People talk about this thing constantly.
Yes.
Constantly. So it was cool that we got hooked up, that Jerry hooked it up. It looks like Jerry has a use after all. Oh, my gosh. Hit the button. Shocking. So,
yeah.
but before we go on anymore, we're going to talk about this place a little more. But if you're new to this podcast, welcome to the Bullhucker podcast. What our podcast is, it's a podcast where we bring on one guest and they tell 3 stories about their life. Now, the kicker is only 2 of these stories are true. One is either made up, borrowed, or partially made up. So I've already talked to you. It's a true story. It's partially made up.
Correct.
Okay, so don't go into too much detail.
Correct.
It's partially made up. So at the end of the podcast, my co-host Dency and I are going to try and guess which one of them is not his story, because 2 of them are true. So we try not to guess one of those. What I forgetting to say is, please, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, please click that subscribe button. It's right on the right to your. I should have drank the wine after.
We'll edit this out later.
Just keep drinking.
On the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little red dot. That's our subscribe button. Please hit that. Subscribe to the podcast because it's a
Little click for you and a big click for us.
whoop whoop.
Woo!
So, and also, no matter where you get your podcast, what platform you're on, please follow us and support the podcast. We appreciate it. High fives in public from anybody at the table today. Oh, just like that.
Yep.
So, and this has actually been a lot of fun, Dency. I'm so glad you're back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be back with my old friend.
And that's why I asked you to be back with your old friend, because he started telling us stories about you. Because Jerry and I work together. So
You do?
Well, he kept commenting on the podcast. Yeah, he works the night shift, I work the day shift.
Okay.
So we caught each other in passing one day, and we were talking about the podcast. He's like, I grew up with Dency, and I was like, oh, I'm in now. Tell me the story. So,
And we say like we're talking grade school.
Yes, third. I believe it was around 3rd or 4th grade. I think we were in Miss Kittner's class together, and
Yes.
and you were actually dating Cliff Crawford at the time.
what's up,
Do you
Cliff?
remember? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
This was the kid that he would hide in the closet after recess, and then when everybody settled in their seats, he would jump out of the closet and be like, "Never fear, Cliff is here." Just a total menace.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah,
my
one-
heart.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? That's good stuff.
I would be too scared to do that.
Oh, he pissed me off one time. I sat right behind him. I don't know if you remember that, but he kept like screwing with me, and we had I'm going to date myself here. We had the one-piece desk with the little cubby underneath.
The little
for your
metals.
book.
Yeah, if you licked your finger and rubbed it, it'd
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
So he had really got my goat one day, and I don't know why, I grabbed the back of his chair and I just whoop, and right in, he just took the wind out of it.
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember that.
They had the little metal the book holder at the bottom of the metal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you like licked your finger and rubbed it, like caused a vibration, it'd start going.
like a wine glass?
Yes, exactly like that. We had a teacher one time who the intercom down to the office, right? They pushed the button in 1980s technology. And he's like, I think my air conditioner's broken. They're like, you have an air conditioner? They were so confused. Dude, it was so bad.
Oh my
He's probably
gosh.
crazy now. He's
Yeah.
yeah. So you told me a story, but we're not telling the story that he told me about you. Are we not doing that?
Which one?
The
I
one-
mean,
you're
the
a snitch.
Oh, yeah.
snitches. I just always love to gossip. Okay, I love the tea. I love the tea.
That's the story you told me about Dencia.
Right.
Did you want to tell me the story or no? Since I brought
Well,
it up all awkward as shit.
Yeah, right. So, yeah.
Don't be bad, Jerry.
Don't be shy,
I'm
don't be
gonna
shy.
ask for your social
Okay.
security number after this.
I
so
know,
it's
I know.
fine. If you don't want to
So-
tell it, we don't have to tell it.
It's
right?
okay. It's okay. So, when I lost my virginity, I had a
This happened when you were 35.
yes,
Just a few years ago.
Yes, just
Yeah.
a few years ago, and so I had a scarf on because I had hickeys, literally like a necklace all the way around my neck.
Jerry a hoe.
And so here I am going to school looking like Woody, from Toy Story. And so Dencia comes up to me and she's like, "What's up with the scarf?"
Right.
And I'm like, oh, nothing, oh, nothing. She's like, all curious, really curious. No, really, what's up with the scarf? You know, I'm like, well, you can't tell nobody. And she's like, tell me. And I'm like, and I pulled it down and I showed her the hickeys, and she's like, oh my gosh. And so I'm like thinking, all right, this is, you know.
Hey,
My
Cliff. Hey,
secret
Cliff.
safe.
Guess what Jerry's doing?
Yeah.
No need to fear, Cliff.
So by lunchtime, everybody in the school had already known.
Such a gossip, dude.
Yeah. So by the end of class, after lunch, I just took it off. and
You're like,
everybody's
fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's like-
Here you go, Dance. You
Yeah.
got your way.
Yeah,
Over
here
the
you go.
years, Dancy and I have become good friends, and I tell you, like, we know each other pretty well now. So when he told me, I started even laughing first. I just shook my head like, Dancy
Some things never change.
strikes again, dude.
You know, one of my favorite stories that I remember is when we got into high school, we were in the same English class, like 9th grade. And you had to do a book report, like, I don't know, a few times a year or whatever. I have always loved true crime, obviously. And so I'd always read books that were that. And you didn't do yours. And you paid me to do your book report. So Jerry's book report was on small sacrifices, like this woman that killed her kids. And Miss Anderson was like, Jerry, did you really read this book? Yeah, you don't strike me as the type of person to be into true crime.
Oh my gosh. That I do not remember.
Oh, I do.
Mr. Cage, did you really read the book on periods?
Yeah.
On menstrual cycles? You read that, huh?
As a
Okay.
young woman growing,
That's right.
Yeah.
coming of age.
And that's when Jerry showed her the hickeys. He's like, I'm just trying to learn. Just trying to,
Broaden my horizons.
just trying to make it better.
Well, I am going to kill a bitch pretty soon, right then? Oh, gosh.
We have 3 stories.
Yeah.
You want to read them off, Dens?
I do. The stage. 5 cents.
And that's 5 cents with
I said
3
it good.
exclamation points. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And throat punch.
Yes.
Make fun of Jerry because he didn't know how to spell throat, and then I try to tell him how to spell throat, and I misspelled it too. So that's it.
Well, I'm glad you at least said that.
You know what? That's why we drive a truck for a living.
Right.
Jerry.
This is true. This is
We're
true.
not in charge of
And that's why
shit.
we're drinking.
That's why
Yeah.
we're drinking.
It's going to get good.
And our charcuterie board.
Yes.
Did you guys try it? Try it.
I will hear. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat off it while he's telling
That's
the stories.
fine.
There you
That's
go.
great.
That's
There
I
you
got
go.
it specifically for you. 'Cause
Oh,
I
you
knew.
because I'm a hungry
Love
guy.
it.
Yes.
I'm a hungry cat.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't want your stomach like growling through the
Oh,
microphone.
but that's.
Me and Jerry making fun of you.
You know what? It's funny till it happens and my feelings get hurt. Not now, stomach. Not now.
If I have to be a snitch, you have to have a flaw too.
A flaw. Let's just say the growling comes from the other end usually. So, all right, moving right along.
'Kay.
All right, Den. So you haven't been here in a while. So
It's been a while.
When's-
Thank you, Jerry, for inviting me, not Larry.
I hate you. But when was the last one you done? Do you remember now?
Was it Davies?
Oh yeah, it was Ty Davies. That's
Hi, Davies
right.
and Michael?
That was good. You came up on the last one. Last week.
Yeah, I know you bitches. Talking all sorts of smack about me with my ex-husband. I heard that.
I watched that one.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Poor Rick has taken a beating on this podcast.
Well, now he deserves it.
Well, I think he enjoyed it. So, anyway, you haven't been here in a while? Pick one up.
Well, I got to say, I'm curious. They're all really good. You got this. You got this. They're great titles. I want to hear the stage.
Oh
the
my
stage.
gosh. You would pick the stage. My wife's gonna. Sorry, Felicia.
Sorry, but not.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
not sorry.
Bye, Felicia. That's all.
Bye,
Bye,
Felicia.
Okay.
Do you want a drink before you go?
Yes. Take a deep breath.
This is good. The build-up has really got me going.
Okay, so I don't know if you know, but I did 4 years in the Marine Corps. In '92, I was sent to Okinawa, Japan, for a whole year. The whole year I was in Japan. So in Japan, you got they say you become 3 things. You either become a Bible thumper, a musclehead, or an alcoholic. And I accomplished all 3. So.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yes. But so everybody's always, a bunch of 19-year-old guys, nobody around, no supervision, So you're always looking for something to do. We had clubs, we had just, so much to do. Japan is just actually Okinawa, I should say, because I was only in mainland for a little while, but Okinawa itself, just a little tiny island. Unbelievable things to do there. And the stage is one of them. So you've always heard about strip clubs, everybody talking about their strip club stories. Well, Japan says, hold my beer. So
Hold on my beer.
hold my beer. So the stage, you initially buy a membership card. At the time, this is in 92, so it was $25. So you go in, all your beer that you buy, and that's all you can buy, is out of a pop machine. Greatest place. But so they import women from South America.
Oh,
Yes.
sex trafficking.
Gosh dang.
It's sex trafficking, Jerry.
Yeah.
It just dawned on him you're right.
Yeah, that is so.
Yeah, Jerry
My
Kage,
God.
monster at large.
Yes.
Maybe they wanted to be there.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that, because they got paid
Whatever.
really
Could.
well.
Whatever makes you feel
They-
better, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. The slaves
Well,
back in
the-
plantation
the-
owner days were imported here from Africa. No, Jerry. No. Anyway,
I feel like they wanted to be there. I'll support
Yes,
this.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Nice girls wanted to be there.
Right.
I stick with
So-
monster, but go ahead.
So these girls would go there, and there was this. So you had two entrances to the stage, and you had one on the right and one on the left, and of course there was a round stage that you had here, and you had probably, I think there was like 8 to 10 seats around the stage, or pervert row, as as porn.
Pervert row.
Yeah, as we call it. But then along the walls there was more seating, and then behind here there was even more seating, and it was just like fold-up chairs. It wasn't like all fancy.
Yeah.
So. And I shit you not, there would be families that would go to this place.
Children.
I don't want like teenagers, mom and dad and their older teenagers.
Yes.
Japan's definitely different with the whole sex thing. So anyway, you go into this place, and you obviously go to hit the pop machine, get your beer, and you sit there. Well, these women come out, they dance on this stage, and they strip down. And if you want to have sexual intercourse with this lady, you sit up on the stage. You kick your shoes off, sit up on the stage. Well, if there's more than one person, they have this big fuzzy die, and whoever rolls the high number gets to stay. So if you win the number, yes, I know. So if you win the number, you get to stay. Then she comes back out. She literally undresses the person on the stage, folds. I never understand the whole folding of the clothes, but she folds the clothes, takes a condom, puts it on this guy, and the stage is like a Lazy Susan. It has a turntable. And so
The whole stage rotates.
the whole stage rotates.
Okay.
And this guy has 3 songs to finish what he needs to finish in front of everybody.
Stop.
Dead serious.
What the fuck?
Yes.
He's
yes.
got, okay, he's got a whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, and whoop in
Yeah.
3 songs.
And he's got 3 songs to complete.
I'm gonna need Stairway to Heaven, American Pie,
Pieces of my Pink Floyd.
Inagata Davida, please. 4 hours later, we got time, baby.
He's in front of people?
Yes, everybody's sitting there. So we're literally like this away from this person, because there's maybe 10 inches away, 10 inches away from where the turntable is, like a little bar or space there. And the best part is, I had a lot of friends that were the black, and they're getting up there and they're saying, "Oh yeah, wait, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
this big black guy, I'm gonna tear it up and blah blah blah." And but before they do that, they have to hit the pop machine about 7-8 times, and then by then they're having problems with their little soldier getting up. And so they're coming around, and don't get me wrong, some of them are pretty endowed, but if they can't stand at attention, they're not going to get this doesn't happen.
What does she do? She's just like, come on,
oh yeah,
you can do it.
She helps. She's over there she's doing her thing, working.
You have too much soda.
Yeah, no, they're Spanish. They're from South America.
Oh.
They're not from Japan. But as the table's coming around, and you can't be like loud and belligerent,
No.
So it's really quiet. It's so strange.
No, I
but
get it. I mean, why would you in such a class joint?
Right.
Sorry, but the language has got to go. I mean, people are trying to hump up here on stage in front of people. All right.
Can you not?
We're trying to make a movie.
My 14-year-old is trying to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Can we please watch the language?
I forgot about the families
Yes.
being there.
So as these guys are coming around, we're sitting there, and they're literally far away from that charcuterie board to me, and I'm like, "What happened, bro? I thought you were going to tear that up." So you're like whispering to these people as they're coming around and going in a circle. Craziest thing. And then there's even a halftime show. So
Halftime show.
yes. It keeps getting better. So they have a mama-san. She's Oriental, and she actually has a little totem pole dildo that she goes around to the guys that are sitting at the table just exclusively for them, and they get to partake. Or you could do the change. She'll take a penny, a quarter, a dime, nickel,
Cheap.
and shake it around, and you guess whichever, you pick a coin, and she'll spit it out.
Wait.
Wait a minute.
Magic trick.
She takes all the change, puts it in there, and you're
Yes.
like, "I'll have a quarter, please."
Yes.
But maybe, it's a nickel. Is that
But
what we're saying?
But it's never the nickel. It's whatever coin you pick. If you pick that coin,
What?
she will spit that coin into your hand.
Okay, let's be honest. That takes skill. I never
It's
had a vagina,
very skill.
but I would imagine
That's
I don't.
Good for them. That is talent.
so. And then she would like blow kisses. And, it was quite the experience. So,
Am I just what blowing kisses? Like, what is that?
like?
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I'm glad
Yes.
you asked me to elaborate
Yes.
that.
Way to
Nancy.
elaborate
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Look at me with this story. Like,
Yes, I know. But
what? Wow.
I did have one friend. His last name was his first name, because his wife probably wouldn't appreciate it. Because we are friends on Facebook. But he was quite the star there. He was actually paid by locals, because usually the locals would sit out here on the sides, and every time he would walk in, and he was a big cornbread fed boy, he was probably 6'3", 6'4", but he never had no problem standing at attention. And
Could he do it in 3 songs?
I guarantee he was doing it. He was probably multiple. I don't know. The guy was an animal. Good for you.
Cheers.
I'm gonna cut the name out, because if you're trying to protect his, you just give his last name. Okay, it's not like the name Jones, dude. You probably have just the one name on there, but. Which, by the way, I want to meet this dude. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. You're my hero now, dude.
He was very impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel this is like if you see a car wreck. I don't want to look, but I'm looking. I can't look away. What's going on?
You pay the DJ to play that weird dun, 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 as if the stage is going around just to entertain yourself.
Like at a carnival.
What does one do while they go by? Doing good.
Well, it just depends. Like I said, if they're working the stage properly, I guess everybody just kind of enjoys the show. But if they're not standing at attention, then it's really
Awkward.
That's where it gets really fun because you got 5 different friends over here. You got people back here giggling. It's just, and then the pressure just in.
That's what I was gonna say. The
It's
pressure
so
of all of
more
that as a
intense.
man sounds really hard.
I mean,
Yes.
Or not hard.
But as I was saying, these women come here
pun intended. We got you.
Yeah.
supposedly because I had a couple friends date some of the ladies, and
You date them?
well, no, they keep them in a secure locations.
Cage?
And, it's a thought you were on my side, didn't you?
Right.
No, they actually get to go out, but they try to prevent guys from meeting the girls up after hours while they're there on their sabbatical or whatever you want to call it.
They're importing, yes.
Yes, but supposedly my buddy said that they were making like $60,000 in like 2 months, and then they go back to South America and live like a queen.
Wow.
Well, good for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
providing for their families.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's why when you said the whole sex trafficking, I was like, oh my
But they
God.
get to go back.
But
That's what makes
no,
it different.
No. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
they're there for just I don't know. I think it was like 6 to 8 weeks, and they do their shows.
Could you imagine having
wow.
that amount of money in those
that sort of
countries?
period?
Yeah, in
And
that short of period.
in
That probably is
92
huge.
In 92?
So.
Yes.
Yes.
And how long?
Yes.
So, are you done? Is that?
Yes.
So
yes.
I worked for a guy named Mike. That was Whaler. He's a good dude. And he goes to Vegas quite a bit. And him and his buddy Mitch would always meet there at the beginning of NFL season, right? He said he had sat on a bus bench next to this lady who was heading back to California. And while you're sticking them out there, buddy.
Whoa.
And they got to talking, and she was working at a strip club down there. She would fly into Vegas once a month for
yeah.
a weekend, and exotic dancing, right? And she made like $15,000 over the weekend.
Holy
At, like
shit.
cheetahs, like one of the big ones. I can't remember
Yeah.
which one he said, but yeah, he was like floored. She was a single mom. The kid was with the grandmother for the weekend because I mean she would make her.
She would go just once a weekend.
Yeah, well, 1 weekend a month. She'd
Right.
fly into Vegas. She'd make her $15,000, go back to a regular job. Yeah, man.
That's more than a month's
That's a way to
wages.
spend your
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if you're a single mom. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Although in California, it probably is like making $25 and going back home. You know what I mean? It's so expensive.
Right.
But what do you think about that, Dencia?
I've heard some stories. My brother-in-law was in the Army, and he's told stories about something similar, going to the strip clubs and stuff. So I can't say I'm all that surprised.
No.
I think maybe he was in the same place as you. Okinawa, is that what you
Yeah.
said? Yeah,
Yeah, it was Okinawa.
I feel like he was.
Yeah.
And it's just totally different over there. Shit that we can't even think
No.
of.
They're really, and it's kind of weird that they have something like that because most of the time they're like really private about like sex because they have hotels like designated for it. They're rented by the hour. And I mean, you have your own garage door that opens up and it goes right into your room. I mean, weird stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So that it's very, very private. It's pretty interesting.
I feel like it could be true. What do you think?
All his Marine buddies tell the stories about, Jerry Kage, the guy who always wore the scarf everywhere. I mean, yeah. Stage performer Jerry,
Oh, we didn't call him Lazy Susan for nothing.
Oh.
That's what I feel like it's true. What do you think?
I'm leaning towards that way, but
Yes.
as always, I'd like to hear at least 2 of them before I
Agreed.
start making. Yeah, but I'm leaning towards that one. Unfortunately, being true, Jerry. So, all right. So,
Good story.
as I always do, there's one I always really want to hear, and I always pick that one last. So, I want to hear 5 cents.
Okay. So I was, I don't know, probably around 12, 13. Hadn't had my license because my dad sent me to the post office to mail a letter. He's like, hey, I need you to go to the post office, mail a letter for me. I'm like, all right, no big deal, And we live on Main Street at the time, across from Subway over there. And so I pedaled my little ass over to I'm going towards the post office, and I'm like, well, I got some change, and So I go buy a soda and probably a candy bar. So I get to the post office, and I'm looking, and I'm like, shit, I only got like 5 cents on me. Well, the post office has the machine, and I was like, oh, there's a 5-cent stamp, so I put it in. Perfect, worked out great. So I buy the stamp, I put it in the, in town, out of town, remember that?
Right.
So I put it on the out of town, and I'm pedaling my ass back. Well, Greg Mayers lived like a block and a half up from me on Main.
What's up, Greg?
And so I'm sitting at Greg's fence, and we're sitting there bullshitting. And all of a sudden, I hear my dad across the street. He pulls over across the street from Greg's, and he goes, Jerry! And I'm like, yeah, Dad. He's like, did you mail my letter? I'm like, yes, Dad, I mailed it. And he goes, and I'm talking to Greg. And
what's with the scarf, Jerry?
Yeah. And my dad goes, how much of a stamp did you put on it? And I turn around, 5 cents. And I'd look at Greg, and next thing you know, my dad's, 5 cents! And Greg's like, it echoed all the way down to the park, the city park, down to Riverside Park. He goes, it just like, ooh, 5 cents! Get your ass home! And I turn at Greg, and I look at him, and I'm like, how much was I supposed to put on it? I had no idea. I'm like 12,
Yes, it seemed logical.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, he's like, get your ass home. So like I said, I tell Greg, and Greg's like, I don't know how much to put on a freaking stamp either. So then I have to pedal my ass home. He ends up taking me to the post office. I have to go to the postmaster and frickin' like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I put a 5-cent stamp on it. My dad. Come to find out, it wouldn't have been so bad, but it was his income tax.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I thought you were going to say it was the rent check. He's like, no, we're going to go downstairs, go get your brother Sherman, tell him to put pants on, quit watching the Care Bears, and tell him to start packing his shit. We got to go. What's up, Sherman?
How much was a stamp?
I think it was like a 25 cent.
Yeah, they were 25 cents.
25 cents.
Because this had been about what?
So I was about 20 cents shy.
Yeah.
What it should
It
have
wasn't
been.
getting to where it needed to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. No.
He
Yeah.
calls Uncle Sam. He's like, come talk to my son Jerry. He's simple, okay? He's with chocolate all over his mouth and a scarf on. I don't figure that one out. So,
But the Pepsi and the chocolate bar was delicious.
They're all still eating it. What's the matter, Dad?
Well, I don't understand. Well, you gave me all this change. I thought I was supposed to get a snack on the way there.
it's a long trip, Pop.
So you had to dig it out of the
Well, I
envelopes.
just had to go there, and they had to dig it out for me and give it to my dad so he could put a 25 cent.
Did he
or
ever
30.
send you to the post office
Never.
again?
I never had.
That's weird.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Yes, I actually kind of did myself a favor. So.
Good job.
Never be good at something you hate doing, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's
so
funny.
it was awesome.
I was thinking when you were talking about going to get that, there used to be a store, right? Where El Jacal is, and it's kind of like Caddy Corner. There used to be a grocery store right there. You probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's right up the street
That's
from
what
where
I was
live.
thinking.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where you went.
Oh no! I actually went to the post office.
No, to buy the candy bar.
Oh yeah. Well, it used to be Henry's.
Henry. Oh yes.
Yeah, the gas
right.
station was Henry's at the time. So
And I only know that because I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day, my mom and dad used to send me to go buy their cigarettes. Did you guys?
yeah, because you live just straight down
Yeah,
from
straight
there.
down. But
Yeah.
isn't that crazy to think?
Yeah,
I think that was a major thing back in the day that you go get cigarettes for your
you
parents,
could.
right?
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did.
Isn't
I
that
guess.
wild?
Yeah, because look at me. I had to spend all the money.
It was
on
harder
candy
trying to
bars.
get alcohol for my parents.
They send you for.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was gonna say Jesus. Yo, give me some cool.
It's like, go give me a 40, Jerry, and a pack
No,
of,
I swear
and a
it's
pack
for
of
my mom
Marlboro
and
Reds.
dad.
Yeah, it's
They
for
really
my,
like
totally
it.
for my parents.
They're into Purple Passion right now. It's weird.
As I'm on my 10 speed.
Purple Passion. What do you got? No. It's
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, my dad loves that shit. It's weird. Yeah.
crazy. He gets mom all
Said it's
loopy on
cheap,
the old
but
Mad
yeah.
Dog, and then
Yeah.
that's when the sister showed up. I don't know, 9 months later. So yeah.
It's weird. We don't talk about it.
He's talking about you, Sherman.
Yeah.
Poor Sherman.
Poor Sherman.
That's my younger sister.
Is he gonna watch this?
My younger sister.
I actually talked to him about some of the stories that we should go over. And,
Yeah.
And the one he wanted me to tell was the one that I was telling you, Morgan's Finest. you know?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
we
I can
can't-
imagine the Cages probably have some crazy stories.
When we first talked about this, I'm like, man, I don't think I have any really good stories. And he's like,
Yeah.
I think you guys do.
Yeah.
So
You know how many times I've hit up someone to do the podcast, and they always tell me that, like, I don't know if I have any good stories. I don't know if I have great stories. And they almost always, like 99% of the time, they come through. It's always the ones who are the biggest doubters in themselves that do the best on here.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? They
Right.
crush that. I really haven't had an episode where I've been just totally disgusted. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, ugh, this is horrible. You know what I mean?
Right,
Everybody's came through
well,
it.
it's because that's why I bought wine for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
Who's this up?
I'm
Yeah.
here for it. Can
So I'm
we
trying to
drink and podcast all the time?
Yeah.
Have I not been asking for this?
I know.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
I've
you.
heard the podcast.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I ain't gonna let them get to their 100th.
yes. Thank
well,
you.
100 will be shots every, you know what I mean? Well, it's going to get.
Oh, now you gotta
Shots?
step it up,
Oh,
right?
Dude, it's going to be the Bull Drunker episode, right?
I thought it was like flights of beer.
So you're
now
gonna
we're
have
doing
like
shots.
multiple guests?
Well,
or
we'll
just
see.
one?
We'll see. Who knows?
Have you guys ever seen me projectile vomit?
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
As a matter of
if you
fact, I
make me
have.
do that.
We'll invite Rick over. It'll be like, Rick, you're sitting right here.
Okay, everybody, let's get in the right order.
What did you think about that story?
Sounds like a good Cage story. They got some good stories. The Cages, they have good stories. They're a good family. You guys are really tight. So, but I think your mom and dad have just always tried to keep you here. But you boys, we don't listen. You don't listen to mom and dad always.
know
And
what you're
God
talking
bless
about.
them.
I don't know what you're
God
talking
bless
about.
them. Yes.
God bless.
You know, it just occurred to me. Do you think when he's in Okinawa, Japan, and someone called him by his last name, hey, Cage, those girls got all weird? Like,
It actually, it's like shadow in Japanese. Is
Shadow?
what cage means.
Oh no, you know
Yeah.
that why?
Well, I don't know why. Yeah.
because
I actually
he's locked some people in the
speak
shadow
more.
before. That's why.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually speak more Japanese than like English or Spanish or whatever.
What?
Not English. but,
Really?
yeah.
Konnichiwa.
Hey, arigato ne, wakario wakaremashita.
I don't know what you said, but that sounds
Ori,
legit.
origato, Mr. Riba.
But, yeah, domo arigato.
Domo.
And they use a lot of euphemisms when you're over there. So like to say you're welcome is like don't touch my mustache, and it's doi touch me mushte.
What?
You know, yeah, so
How do you
that's-
remember this?
Oh, dude, I don't know. It was just I was so immersed in it. Like counting to 10 was like at a bus stop. She goes, the old lady's like ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, nana, kyu,
Wow.
kyu, ju. And so that's how I learned how to count to 10.
That's impressive.
So-
I'm impressed.
And I even taught my sister-in-law, Brianna, Cole. I taught her that, and to this day she still knows, and she taught her son how to count to 10. in
What's up,
Japanese.
Brianna and Sons?
Did you teach your kids and grandkids?
My kids know what it is, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of times I'd say "choto mate," and that means just a minute in Japanese. So all my kids, all my kids. Felicia's like, "How many kids you got, bitch?" I knew I should have put you on Maury.
Two in South America.
But
Now's as good a time as any.
right.
Tell you something.
So I'd always tell my kids "choto mate," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to choto mate, Dad." So,
Wow, I'm impressed
Yeah.
that you know all that. That's good.
I had, when I left Okinawa, I had probably over a 500 word vocabulary.
Oh, really?
I could actually listen to a conversation and pick out 90% of it and put it together.
Wow.
I can't do that now, but I remember, like, you know, like the worst word, you know, like you always learn the bad words, and that's Shinjime Buta, you know, and it means fucking pig.
Ooh, it sounds like fucking pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they yell at you from the rotating stage.
Right.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's the one he picked up right away.
No, that was
so.
the DJ. That was the Japanese DJ yelling at you. Yeah.
Okay.
2 more songs.
Yeah.
All right, 2 down, Denzel. What do you think about that one?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think yeah.
I like me a good Daddy Cage story. Just getting mad at those boys.
Daddy Cage.
Daddy Cage.
Okay. All right, we got one left. Throat punch.
Okay. So I was 18, 19, just before I was getting ready to go in the Marine Corps. And speaking of Sherman, well, actually, let's start that weekend. So I don't know if you remember Tim Morris.
Why does that name sound familiar?
So he was like in our class. He was like half black, half Puerto Rican. He was always, he thought
Okay,
he was
yep.
a thug. He was, you know, and he was a pretty good sized guy. He was probably, I don't know, I want to say 6'2", you know, or somewhere around there. And probably, I don't know, 230, you know,
yeah.
he was a pretty big kid. So one weekend we're having a party out at the lot. I don't know if you ever went to the lot at Greg's. But we used to have huge bonfires all the time. They would take the railroad ties from the country stakeout and burn them that were stacked up out there. That's how big this pit was. I mean, it was like twice or 3 times the size of this table.
Aren't you supposed to not burn railroad ties because they have a chemical in them that'll mess you up?
Yeah, well, and we had put diesel and gas.
That makes
so,
sense.
It's
yeah,
like
so-
90s. We did
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
okay, all right.
They burned really well, though.
I bet they did.
All night long. So we were having a huge party out there, and Joe Rodriguez had got a little tipsy, and he was going crazy. So we pinned him down, tied him to this chair.
That's your answer?
Yeah. Huh? Well, we were just trying to calm him down. So he was a big guy, too. You know, Joe was a pretty big guy. And so we pinned him down and tied him to this chair. Well, Tim came up and he had a beer bottle and he was going to hit him over the head and try to knock him out. And we're like, what are you doing? It's our friend. We're not trying to hurt him. We're
Can't
just trying
you
to.
tell by the way we tied him up and bound and gagged him? This is like my brother. Come on, dude. What
He's
the?
got the tennis ball.
Makes you wonder
It's like,
what
shut up, Joe. You don't have no say in this.
what life did
I
Tim
love
have?
this motherfucker. Okay, I'm just gonna beat his ass and then that's all.
What life did Tim have where you tie him up and he's like, "Oh, this is where we kill him, right?"
Yeah. Tim was pretty thug.
Goes
Okay, so-
crazy.
So we kicked Tim
Jesus.
out. We kicked him out of the party, and so later on that week, Sherman comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I was flirting with this guy's girlfriend, and this guy wants to kick my ass now." And I'm like, and Sherman's like 14, 15 years old, you know, but he's flirting with this older girl that's like 17, I think she was.
Go Sherman. Good job.
So her boyfriend,
Man-ho. Man-ho. Sure.
so her boyfriend caught wind of it and was going to beat Sherman's butt. So Sherman's like, "I'm scared. What do I do? What do I do?" And I'm like, "Well, have you seen him?" He's like, "Well, last I heard he was up on Main, you know." So we went cruising around, and sure as shit, you know, here's this guy at the park, you know, like where the gazebo's at right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't there at the time. And Sherman's like, "That's him." So I still had my Camaro. It was Cooper, Felicia, Sherman, and I. And I pull over, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy." And he sees Sherman. And he's like, "Oh." So there's a crowd over by, what's the one-way, is that Ensign? I mix them up, Ensign and State.
Yeah.
But so the one-way over there, over by the bank, there's a group of, I don't know, 5, 10 people. And that guy runs over there. So I start walking towards there, next thing you know, that whole group starts coming towards us. And like I said, it's Cooper, me, and Sherman. Sherman's like 14. So he's not the size he is now.
What's up, Cooper?
And so all of a sudden, Tim comes up. And I'm like, he's like, what's going on, Cage? And I'm like, nothing. I said, you need to talk to that guy behind you, stand behind you. And he goes, I can't do that. And I'm like, Tim, we ain't got no problem. And he's like, yeah, we've had problems for years, Cage.
What?
We've had a lot of problems. Well, I forgot about that weekend. You know, 'cause I was probably
When
hungover.
you
Yeah,
discouraged him from killing someone.
right. So
Yeah.
he was still a little butthurt about that.
Rightfully so. We like to fuck people up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my stabbing knife already. It was clean.
So I'm just like, Tim, you know what? Just give me the guy behind you, and we'll be all right. And Tim's like, I can't do that. And I'm like, Tim, just give me this damn kid. I want to talk to him. And Tim commences to push me. Uh-oh. And I said, you know what? Now we got a fucking problem. Yeah. We're fine. We can sit here and talk. We can fucking go back and banter words and everything. But the minute you put your fucking hands on me, it's on. And it was literally on. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's do it. We're going to get this. We're going to get it on. And so I fucking go into my stance. I kick him in the balls. Wham! And I'm like, wop, 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 wop. I hit him like 4 times. And then he backs up. He comes at me swinging. And I'm dodging. I fucking kick him in the balls again. Pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, this dude's got balls of steel. Because that's the second time. And I know I hit him square.
Kick me in the Jimmy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Kick me in the Jimmy.
So we're going, and I'm thinking, geez, this guy is, pretty tough, And so I go to kick him again. Boom, 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 boom. And as I'm backing up, because he's swinging, and I was a little late on backing up, he clips. I'm wide open. He just reaches out and just barely clips my throat with a punch. And whap! And I was like, so I suck in as much air as I can. I kick him again. Just boom. And I just laid it like a 4 freaking round combo. Boom, 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 boom. And he throws his hands up and he goes, no more. And I said, fine. And I turned around and I beelined it to my Camaro. So Cooper and Sherman and my wife, we all get back over the car. And I go, and they're looking at me like, what in the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm literally trying to catch my air because thank God he didn't see it, because I've always been taught, they see your weakness, you're fucked, know.
Yeah.
But so I'm at my car and I'm leaning over it and I'm like trying to get wind, and they're like,
Jerry, getting punched in the throat is everybody's weakness, by the way.
well, thank you.
I'm just saying, bro. That's a pretty effective thing to do. Okay.
Oh my
It
gosh.
ain't no kryptonite, but it'll get a good.
Oh my gosh.
Turns out Cage has got a human throat, huh? Pussy. It's not a secret, Jerry. Okay, just let you know, bud.
So I'm sucking wind, and they're like, what's going on? What happened? And I'm like, he punch me, and I'm trying to take wind in the throat. And they're like,
shit.
And they're like, when? They're like, because everybody was like standing there, and they're like, when did he? Shit, we didn't even see him come close to you, They're like, you were just like tag, and I'm like, shit, I was fucking backing up, and he clipped me in my throat. And it took me a good 5 minutes to catch my fucking wind because I had never been hit in the throat before, and boy, I do not recommend it. It's
as Jerry's dying, Sherman kicks me. He's like, "Can I hump the girlfriend now?"
Could be a little bit. Yeah.
Did you get the guy?
Sure, no, that dude took off. So then, the next day, Felicia and I are going to Alco, which is Murdoch nowadays.
Yes.
And guess who comes walking out of a frickin' Alco?
Tim Morris.
Tim Morris.
Tim fucking Morris.
And Felicia's standing right beside me, and I grab her, and I fucking slide her behind me.
Guard your throat, woman. Guard your throat.
Not for the reasons you might think.
So Tim comes up, and he throws his hands up, and he's like, "Hey, Cage, we're cool. It's cool. It's cool." And I'm like, "All right, we're cool." Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, we're cool." He came up, and he shook my hand. He's like, "Man, it's been a long time coming. I got a lot more respect for you now." Shit, it's been just coming. Well, as I'm looking at him, he's got 5 stitches.
Oh,
in
shit.
I sent him to the hospital that night.
Oh, no.
And I put his teeth through his mouth.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. So he was like, "Yeah, I think I better give this guy." But he never knew about the throat punch.
You didn't ever tell him?
No, fuck no.
There's a thing called pride.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Unless Tim Morris comes. Are you friends with Tim Morris on Facebook? Have you
I
seen
think Tim is in prison.
him? Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
A few years later, I think after I got back from the Marine Corps, we were in town. From what I heard, he cut off some guy's fingers that was supposed to be a witness, and so it was tampering with the witness.
Shit.
Yeah, so
A little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah. So it was.
Maybe the guy was tied up.
I don't know
and
if
he
he's
thought,
still.
God was stabbing you.
Took a couple shears. It's
I
like,
don't know why, but that's my favorite part of this story. So we have him tied up, and he comes over, and he's going to break a beer bottle over his head. And we're like, whoa,
It is
you went
because-
too far.
Yeah, because he looks down at that guy. He's like, "What's wrong
Way
with you,
too
man?
far.
What's wrong with you?" You know.
I don't know, you guys had him tied up, and I thought it was okay. Why?
hey, let's just silence him now.
Yeah.
Listen, you just kick him in the nuts multiple times. That's what we do here. Okay? It's called cage fighting.
Seriously. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah, once.
You have.
Yeah. I
Did
didn't
you
do
win?
great. No, I didn't do great.
Didn't.
Not a fighter.
Great.
You know, I don't have a great fighting stance. I got the. But I can take a punch. I got a pretty thick skull, so that works out for me. Have you?
No. What? I believe it or not, I have not. Besides my sisters, like they don't really count. I mean, kind of like chicken shit girl stuff, where you maybe like I might have keyed somebody's car one time.
When I worked at the nightclub, I was punched a few times, like breaking up fights or whatever. I mean, not even aimed at me sometimes. Just sometimes
Right.
a fist comes by and.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Were you at the one with Alan Devlin in junior high? In the gym? In the
No.
long hallway when I fought Alan there?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing, though.
Yeah.
You know who always I was afraid of? Do you remember? I don't know. This is probably long gone, but her name was Idalia Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
God, she
Oh, yeah.
always wanted to kick my ass.
Why?
Well,
I don't know, because I think because I was cute.
she was cute. She was cute.
You snitched on her, didn't you? That's what it was.
Adalia
know, it was
kicked me in the balls in junior high.
This bitch
Yeah,
was mean.
she was a mean bitch.
Yes, exactly.
That's where you got the
That's
fight.
what I learned. That's why I
Yes.
learned. I was like, hey, that worked on me really well. So
Kicking in the balls will do it. I never got in a fight because when my sister Paula went, like right when she graduated and I was still in high school, she got in a fight and she got thrown in jail.
Really?
And I'll never forget my parents going to
Damn,
get
look
her.
at him.
I know, get it, Larry. And they were so pissed. And then she was talking about the fight and how scary it was. And I was like, shit, I think I'm just going to talk about people. I don't actually want to fight. I just want to.
that won't lead to nothing.
Yeah. Nobody minds that.
Well, what do you think about that one, Dempsey?
I don't know. I just know too much about this guy. They
It's-
all.
It's fun though when you know him, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. And I remember these stories. God dang
That's
it.
fun. Before we go on, I will say you guys are making fun of me because I slugged my wine. This wine is amazing.
I told
So
you.
good.
Yeah, it is so good. It goes down.
Delicious. Huh?
Yeah.
And I told you we should always drink in podcast.
Yeah, but then when you and I drink together, it's never good, Dempsey. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, this is your fault, Larry.
We're growing up.
What's that?
We're growing up. We're
Drinking-
more
drinking
responsible
wine now?
now. Well, I mean, we can just handle it better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The first time when I worked in Pueblo at the nightclub, it was every year they do the Easter Seals wine tasting gala. Mm-hmm. And I was 22, 23 from Brush, Colorado. I drink, when they said, what do you want to drink? I'm like, just drink vodka straight. That's what we do, right? And beer, or is that,
Let's get fucked up.
Yeah, you get Boone's Farm. Like, Boone's Farm, Jesus, hick. Anyway, so we'd set up, and it was like $50 a ticket, right? But the owner of this club would give us tickets if we helped set up and do all the,
Yeah, do it.
So they didn't have charcuterie boards, but they had a big table in the middle with grapes and cheese, right?
Boo.
And that was a buffet to me. I didn't realize it's to cleanse your palate, right? They also had buckets everywhere where you take the wine, swish it, and spit it.
I think that's weird.
Yeah, but that's what people do, though. at
I
these
know,
things.
I don't like it.
But
Sounds
not
like
me.
a waste of alcohol to me.
Agreed.
Not me. I was doing this shit like shots, bro.
Oh, God.
I'll take some more of the red bottle, please. So at the end,
I'll take the bucket too.
yeah. I got to be
I'm gonna
honest,
switch
dude.
that around.
I'm an emotional drunk on wine. I haven't told either one of you I love you yet. It's coming, okay? It's coming, just so you know.
Why do I want to see that?
Don't
I
get
wanna
weird.
See it.
Don't get weird. Like, I love you, bro.
Jerry, come up with 3 more stories. We're staying.
But at the end, all these people with wine, they're like, "Do you guys want the empty bottle or the open bottles, like half bottles?" And I'm like, "I'm 22." I'm like, "Yeah, I want the open bottle."
Yeah, I do.
So I had this cases of bottles of wine in my house and McDonald's plastic cups. And if you come to my house, I'd be like, "Would you like a wine, bro?" Like, "Yeah, what do you got?" I'm like, "I got some more of that red bottle, and I got a purple bottle, and I got some
Sometimes you can mix them, and it's kind of a weird color.
this shit with a tree on it." I don't know, but but me and my roommate tanked all that wine, and that was a weird summer. Like, "Hey, Daisy, you doing? We always fight. I love you, guy. You're my boy. I'm not gonna tie you up and beat you and stab you, but I still love you, bro. Okay."
Well, that's a much better way to be than like on, I don't know, whiskey or something.
Nighttime Larry, Nighttime Larry's not great, but
We went to Napa for Cabry's 21st. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Napa, but Napa's basically like a more sophisticated Vegas. Everybody's just as drunk. They just look classier doing it. And the wineries, the glasses are like big, but they fill it up that much, but it might as well be this much.
Right. Well, they
really
shake
embarrassing.
it
Yes.
a lot more. Yeah.
And so you do a flight, and you have like 7 of them.
Right.
This is embarrassing. We were in a really swanky town. It was called Yountsville. Can you imagine what a place Yountsville is? And I was like on point. Cynthia, you look really cute today. Thanks, girl. Thanks. I actually peed my pants in Yountsville.
Oh,
Yeah.
did I just do that?
Yeah, dang it. I am really drunk. I need to go home.
you know what's weird? This is now the 4th podcast in a row where
Here, try
urine
this.
has been one of the
thanks.
stories.
Really?
Yeah, urine stories have came out. This is the 4th one in a row. So yeah,
Yeah, it's really common.
I'm
It's
good at
really
that.
common.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
you killed that one, buddy. This wine is amazing though. So I mean, real quick before we go, Dancy, what's
Yes.
the address here again?
oh, I don't know if I have the address.
It's on Road 21. It's off the DLD and Road 21.
Yeah.
It's super easy to find. If you're coming from Brush and you hit John Deere, you went too far. If
Yeah.
you're coming from Oregon, after you hit John Deere, take a right. Right
It
down
used
Road
to be-
21.
I feel it wasn't the old Coors when you guys.
Budweiser,
I'm sorry,
the old Budweiser
yeah,
across the tracks
right
here,
up
yeah.
there. Mhm.
And what's what's their times?
Oh, okay. Once again, so they are open Fridays 4 to 8, Saturday 1 to 8, and Sunday 1 to 5.
This is a cool place. This is just it's cool because it's so unique to our area. You know,
Yes.
it's just,
Yes.
I mean, it'll be one of the first. It might be the first of many to come. You know, it'd
Mm-hmm.
be cool to have like a brewery and stuff, but this is just as cool, man. If not
Morgan
cooler.
County is dying for something fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah.
Well, and hopefully now that you got the inn,
yeah.
that you guys can.
Yeah, you come back
actually
here some
come
more.
back
This
here.
is very good
Yeah,
too.
it's stuff like this we need. Like
It is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the comedy shows are coming back too in October. So
Oh, nice.
they'll be in Brush at the golf course. So yeah,
Oh, fun.
more on that. Yeah, it's gonna be different this time. We're gonna donate all the profits to charity this time, and you know what I mean.
You're not going to be selfish son of a bitches.
Yeah, not keep it. So yeah, because I'll just spend it on God knows what.
Good job,
So-
buddy. I'm
something
proud
pretty,
of you.
something-
You're
yeah.
growing up.
All right, we've heard 3
Okay.
stories. We've heard the stage 5 cents and throat punch. Dency, do you have one in mind?
I don't.
Do you really?
This is, Jerry, I got to say, normally I do. I have something that by this time I'm like, I know what I'm going to say. I don't.
Really?
I really don't.
I kind of do.
I don't.
I kind of do. So
Really?
yeah.
Well, I hope you lose, so you have to go first, and I can hear your
Ooh.
reasoning.
So we rock, paper, scissors, Jerry, to see who goes first. Now, there's 3 pumpers and 4 pumpers, Jerry. How do you rock, paper, scissors?
I am a 3-pumper.
Thank you.
1, 2, boom.
Yep, 1, 2, boom.
The
I
craziest
thought I
thing
knew
is-
you. I thought we were friends.
the craziest thing is 3 pumpers. I'm gonna do the stats again. I think we're beating you this
I
time.
think so too.
And I'm like, but the thing is, I'm like, every time it's a 3 pumper, I'm like, it's never when Dempsey's here. It's never when Dempsey's here. You know?
Well,
Okay, so you guys all talked before I came.
I am so
okay.
sick of being mocked by this woman. I'm like, why is Dempsey so mean about my pumping? She don't like
You
it,
know
bro.
why.
You know
You know
why.
why. So we're going 1, 2, boom.
We're going boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
You
I'm
got
ready.
this?
Yep, I'm ready. So I have to go. Damn
we're
it.
going to crush his paper.
So
The stage.
we have the stage, 5 cents,
cents.
and throw punch. Before you go, though, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that little red dot right in the middle, the right hand, on the bottom right hand of the screen. Hit that, like I said.
Larry can't talk.
Follow the website. Country Road, this is really good wine. And also follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I even have a TikTok that's up and running. So,
Oh, dude. I just got Do you have TikTok?
I do.
I just
do.
got it too.
yeah, I've been putting
Let's
like.
do a TikTok.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to make you.
All right. We will.
Okay.
Actually, I did the tortilla slap thing yesterday with some people in Brush,
You did?
and Matt didn't record it. He didn't hit the record button right. So we tried to redo it. It wasn't fun.
Son of a bitch.
Carrie Ankrum was the first person, dude. It was hysterical, man.
Who won?
I did, actually, because she spit her water up because she caught me in the ear bud. The look on my face was like,
Like getting throat punched.
Yes.
bud, you ever been slapped with a tortilla? Holy shit. Trying to beat a stereotype, Jerry, but
Well,
shit, it hurt.
It depends who makes them, you know.
They were store-bought. That's why I said if we want to get
Oh,
rugged,
okay.
we'll get some homemade thick-ass
Thick,
tortillas
Oh.
with a little bubble pop on your
Yes.
mouth and probably make you bleed. Yeah, dude.
My
yeah.
mother-in-law's has her handprint on them. It's like her signature.
No.
It is the neatest thing ever since I've grown up.
Are they delicious,
They
though?
are very delicious. But anybody that has ever had Carmen's tortillas, they know her tortillas because she literally has her handprint on it.
Oh, I
It's so
love
neat.
that.
Okay.
So neat.
Okay. All right, Dens. This-
Okay. Damn it.
Do you
Damn
have
it.
Do you have one that you think that might be absolutely true? Do you have no doubt about?
The stage?
Okay. Well,
The
don't-
stage is true? Question mark. So that leaves 5 cent and throat punch. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with 5 cents, and the only reason why I'm going with 5 cents is because I feel like there's some truth to it, but maybe there's a little bit of indiscrepancies thrown in there
Okay.
to throw us off. They all seem like believable stories, and I honestly don't know, but I'm only going with 5 cents because, well, I don't know why. I don't know why. I just,
Gut feeling.
yes, gut feeling, 5 cents.
Okay, I got to tell you, the stage I think is true, and if it's not, I'm gonna be super disappointed. There's always a story I want to be true.
So if it's not,
That's it.
you need to get off Pornhub.
What is that?
Yeah.
I was tempted with 5 cents, and I'm leaning towards that too. It had the least amount of detail.
Yeah.
It could be a kind of a generic
Yeah,
story.
and I would have went throat punch, but there was a lot.
Yeah, there was a
But
lot of
you're
detail.
doing it.
What's that?
What are you doing?
What
What are you picking?
I gotta tell you, I think we're gonna team up on this one. I think 5 cents is what it is.
No kidding.
The throat punch. I mean, a little bit of throat punch, but I think it's 5 cents. But it's
The
tough because it
names?
might be also just so simple because you just needed a story. You know what I mean? So the throat punch might. You know what? I'm gonna get away. I'm gonna go with throat punch. I changed my mind.
Why?
I think the story would have. Yeah, I don't know. I think it wasn't as bad as you said it was. I don't know.
Oh.
You know, if
Okay.
Tim exists even. So
Tim
you
does
know,
exist.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sherman, pull up your little Care Bear pants and. All right, let's see it, bro. I'm doing throat punch. She's going 5 cents. 5 cents.
Hey, yes.
Damn it. I should have stayed with my original.
Yes.
So what's not true about it?
I didn't have to go see the postmaster at the end.
Okay.
So I did everything up to having to go back to the post office and talk to the postmaster and say, can I please, I think they just waited for it to be sent back because the postage was,
Right.
under
Yeah.
Right.
wasn't enough. So it's
Was
small
it the
town.
taxes?
It was.
It was the
It
taxes.
was. Everything else was true except for having to go talk to the postmaster and dig through mail.
But you really did put a
I
5-cent stamp.
really did put a 5-cent stamp.
Because if I remember correctly, those were just to correct for the change in stamps. So if you had 25-cent
Right.
stamps instead of when it went to 30 cents, instead of throwing away like 25-cent stamps, that's what the 5 cents. But if I remember
Right?
correctly,
Yeah.
It's funny we're all old enough to remember that kind of weird
That
shit.
is
You know what I mean? Yeah. When's the last time you put a stamp on something?
Actually, my wife does. I put stamps on stuff for all the time for her, but she's got some of those forever stamps that you could buy. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how much it raises to.
Right.
It's like a little flag on it. They're forever stamps. But so we do it for parties, for graduation. We've done a lot for graduations.
I'll be
Here
down.
recently, we've sent out graduations that we were invited to. We send out
A card or
and
something,
some
yeah.
money. So so we actually still
So the
use
stage
the
is
post
true.
office. The stage is very,
I knew it. I
Very-
knew it was true.
very.
Yeah, I
very
thought that was true too. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of wild. But I mean, over there, it's probably very normal.
Let's see if
I don't
throat
know if
punch
it's
is
still-
true.
The
I'm
what?
going to punch you and you tell me if it hurts.
Only if we can tie you to that chair.
Jerry, break a bottle over my head.
Come at you with a country wines bottle. I mean, I'm in if you're in. I don't know.
You took
go
it too
all out.
far.
Let's go
You
all
took it
out.
too far. Yeah.
Hey, Gary, I got bad news. Dancia's dead. I got good news. Dancia's dead.
You want the good news? Or the bad news?
Yeah. It depends on what day it is.
You don't got to wear pants around the house anymore, dude. Congratulations.
Your honey-do list just got really small.
Yeah. Drink all you want. She's not there to bitch at you. And I know no more 3-pumping shame. It's awesome. I get it.
No more.
And throat punch, all that was real too.
Yes. So real. Oh my gosh.
Just
It-
because you, like, with the names and all the detail, I was like,
Yes.
this has to be true.
Yeah, there was another one. I don't know if you know Angel Ortiz. I was gonna tell that story, but it was, I don't know. It was kind of short, because it just was like,
Right.
it was just kind of one of those things. Greg and Verna and Pete Gomez and Greg and Verna had like this little love triangle going on
Right.
at the time, because they were like off and on, and Verna was with us, and they said something. We pulled over on Main. God, everything happened on Main.
Everything.
Everything happened on Main. And so Greg and Pete walk up to the library, and they're over there hashing it out. Well, Angel's sitting over here with like 4 other guys, and I'm just standing there, and he's like, hey boy, I hear your mama calling. And I'm like looking around, yeah, I'm talking to you. And I'm like, you're talking to me? And he was like a pretty good wrestler and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So this guy comes up and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I said, fuck you, I think your mama's calling. Oh, and then here they come. They come over, and he pushes me, and I push him, and then he hits me around the waist, and he pins me up against this truck. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. I hate wrestling. Hate it. But so I peel him off. And I mean, as I'm peeling him off, he's still his weight's still towards me. And I just, wow. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go. Oh my God, this is going to be, and the next thing you know, his eyes just roll in the back of his head. And then all of a sudden he's like, boom, and hits the ground right on Main. And I'm like, now my head goes, and I lean down, and I grab a handful of hair, and I said, whose mama's calling out, bitch? And I fucking hit him like 4 times on the pavement. And I looked at his buddies. I said, which one of you motherfuckers are next?
He says, seriously, your mom was calling. Something about a stamp. You put the wrong one on.
5 cents.
No, we're serious. It is your
Yeah.
actual mom.
I know why you're hitting me, man. Your mom's looking for you. You April some bitch.
Men are weird like that. They got weird egos and.
Oh,
You know,
it's
for the
so
younger
good.
people listening to this podcast, when we were in high school in the 90s, that was a big thing to cruise Maine.
Yes.
Yep.
You would drive down to Main Street in Fort Morgan, and people from Brush to Wiggins and everybody ended up on Main Street in Fort Morgan, and that is where all the fights, but that's also where the parties were found. That's where everything.
Yes.
What do the kids do now for that?
Park. They go through the park.
Oh,
Oh,
do
they
they
do
really?
hang out at
They
the
do
Riverside
go to the park.
Yeah.
My daughter's 17, and her Life 360 is always at the park.
Yeah, so was Nate's
Yep.
growing up. Yeah.
The park.
And I
It's
feel sorry
dark
for
and
him 'cause
scary there.
It was so much fun, cruising Maine, and it was like it would be packed. You think of like
Yes.
American Graffiti. It was like all these cars, and then you had like the groups, like the really cool groups, hung out like where the park is,
Yeah.
across from Cable, and then like the country guys were down towards like where Americana is. You remember that? So where the tattoo shop is. So you had like all the country guys or the farmer guys.
And
the
if
kids.
you were real nothing, you were clear at the end of the block before you turned around to come back. Yeah.
That's
And-
totally where we parked.
And it was actually kind of like divided up that way all the
A
way
little
down.
bit, yeah.
But
Well, what's going to wrap this up? We're this has been a long one, but a fun one.
It was fun.
did I go over an hour?
No, we're good. Yeah,
Oh,
we're all
okay.
good. It doesn't
I
matter.
didn't even know if I was going to make it an hour.
Everybody says that, dude. And
Yeah.
I tell them it's never a problem ever, dude.
Yeah.
Ever.
Bullshit our way
Yeah,
up.
we kind of bullshit everything, but this is awesome. Once again, one more plug for this place.
Yes.
Country Wine. It's Country Road Vines and
Vines
right.
and wines.
It's on the glass.
Vines and Wines. It's on Road 21. We should got the address, but it's easy enough to find. It's right
Sure.
off the street. So
Amazing place.
it is. This is a great place. This wine was awesome too.
It was so good.
I'm not a big wine guy, so that for me, that's weird because usually people always try to give you like the red wines and all that stuff that's dry, and I'm
Bleh.
got a beer, But this is something I would actually purchase and drink, And the owners are super nice. It's the first time I got
Super
to do.
nice.
Super nice.
Yes,
And
agreed.
Sharon, the owner, is she watches the podcast. So what's up, Sharon? Thank you for this very much. Very cool. So before we go, one more time, please hit the subscribe button, bottom right hand corner. I keep forgetting to say that. So we're actually getting up there in subscribers. It's been pretty cool.
Good.
So yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I appreciate you, Mr.
Yes.
Cage. Salute.
Cheers. 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 I got a little swig left.
So anyway, thank you so much. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Dempsey Kudrin.
Thank you, Mr. Cage.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you guys.
See you guys. Peace.